Well, we begin tonight with breaking news. A body has been pulled out of the Hudson River in Troy. Troy police say this body was found behind the St. Basil's Church on River Street. Detectives as well as the Troy Fire Department seen on the scene today, helping to gather evidence. Exact details limited at this time, but if you or someone you know may have any information about this case, you are asked to call Troy Police. That number we've provided here on your screen now. Stay with News 10 as we will continue following this story and its latest developments. Well, good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mikhaela Singleton. Ted Kaczynski, better known as the Unabomber, found dead in his federal prison cell in North Carolina earlier today. He was 81 years old. Kaczynski was known for running a multi-year homemade bombing plot from 1978 to 1995. His attacks targeted universities and airports where he killed 3 people and injured 23 others, some of whom were left permanently scarred. His brother, a then resident of Schenectady, was the one who tipped off authorities to Kaczynski's location in Montana, which led to his arrest. He ultimately received 4 life sentences and 30 additional years for his crimes. He'd been held in that maximum security federal prison since May of '98. A cause of death has not yet been released. Stay with us on air and online at news10.com. We'll continue bringing you the latest on this story. The statue of General Philip Schuyler, we've been hearing about it for so many months. It used to stand in front of City Hall in Albany. It's now gone. Now, after more than a century, it's been moved to storage as of this morning. And as News 10 ABC's Harrison Giroux explains, the statue itself was about so much more than just what you saw at first glance.
We're happy that the statue has finally come down. I'm not sure what they're going to do with it, but at least it's not in a public space.
Dr. Alice Green has been pushing city leaders to take down the statue for years. She says it was a constant reminder of what General Schuyler did to her ancestors.
He robbed them of their humanity, their dignity, and their labor. Labor that brought him money.
Albany Mayor Kathy Sheehan says she's working to form a monuments commission so people like Green can be heard.
I think it's an opportunity to get more public input and to have, again, a process around what we do on city-owned property going forward.
Green saying she hopes the statue can find a new home.
I'm certainly in favor of any private operation taking the statue and using it as they see fit. I have no problems with that.
Private operations like the Saratoga National Historical Park. Schuylerville Mayor Dan Carpenter saying he'd happily bring them the statue.
By no way am I condoning the fact that General Schuyler owned slaves. It was a disgusting practice back then. Within the historical context of the village and the Schuyler house that we have here, I do feel it might be appropriate to bring it up here.
But he'll have to wait for now. Reporting in Albany, Harrison Giroux, News 10 ABC.
Well, this just in, a time capsule was actually found while digging up and removing that statue. Inside, it contained letters from the past, some really interesting stuff. We're looking to finding out what all was in there, so stay with News 10. We'll let you know. A Cornwall man under arrest accused of raping a child. Law enforcement reports John Kyle B. Dizzen was arrested following an investigation that reportedly revealed he'd raped that child sometime in April 2022. Dizzen, as seen on the left side of your screen here, was formerly an officer of the state of New York's University Police at SUNY Albany. He was employed as a law enforcement officer by the city of Newburgh Police Department when he was arrested. This, of course, remains an ongoing investigation. You are asked if you believe you know anything about this crime or others. If you may have been a victim of this person, please contact State Police in Latham. We've provided that number here on your screen now. Well, another sex crimes arrest involving a child, this time down in Catskill. This is Kenneth Ball, and he was arrested after a joint investigation by the State Police Catskills Bureau of Criminal Investigations and by the Greene County Child Protective Services. He is charged with a number of sex-related crimes alleging he raped a child, and Ball will face arraignment in Greene County Court come June 12th. Now, again, anyone who feels they may have been a victim of Balls or you think you know someone who may have been, you are asked to call the State Police down in Catskill. Again, this number on your screen, take a moment and write it down. 6 Capital Region counties issuing states of emergency, all in preparation for the arrival of asylum seekers. New York City's Mayor Adams now suing those counties, trying to repeal those states of emergency. Many county lawmakers expressing outrage over the migrations, including Rensselaer and Greene counties. Leadership in both areas vowing to fight against the lawsuit. Saratoga, Schoharie, Warren, and Fulton counties, they're remaining silent as they tell us they can't comment on any pending litigation. But when asked about the state of emergencies, the asylees themselves say they just want to come and contribute and be a part of the fabric that is the American people. Today, the Girls on the Run 5K held at Joe Bruno Stadium in Troy. Hundreds of young girls and their mentors from schools all over the Capital Region, they've been working hard for weeks, training and goal setting. Those efforts now all coming together in a celebratory run today. Every runner had a buddy to cheer her on, and the executive director of the event says the theme today is empowerment and that she's also thrilled with the turnout.
Today's turnout is amazing, especially given the weather that we had earlier this week. We're so excited. We have over 800 runners here today, and I would say hundreds of parents and caregivers here to cheer the kids and all the running buddies on.
Well, there was no competition with this race, no awards to be won. Every racer encouraged to just go to their happy place and have a great time. The City of Albany holding its first ever repair cafe at the Albany Public Library. If you've never heard of it, repair cafes are free meeting places where volunteer fixers from various fields can come together and help repair everyone's broken items. Tools, toys, jewelry, clothes, well, you name it, they can fix it. But today's cafe was about more than just fixing those broken items. The organizers say it was also to pass on historical Albany foundations and core values, sustainability. Let's now turn things over to meteorologist Rob Lindenmuth and a look at our forecast. Rob, we've had plenty of rain to kind of blow and wet out all that smoke. How are we looking today?
Yeah, you know, Mikhaela, most of us are dry, but there's a couple of showers out there this afternoon. But temperatures much nicer than what they've been the last couple of days, right? A little bit closer to average. We made it up to 75 degrees this afternoon. Normal high, 78. So pretty close to where we should be. Record high, 96, set back in 2008, so not too long ago. Temperatures right now, with some cloud cover in Albany, are still sitting in the low 70s, so a comfortable evening underway. Light south-southwest wind at 6 miles per hour. And it's going to be another comfortably cool night as we go later into the evening. 68 right now in Cobleskill, 67 in Bennington, Pittsfield at 69, 72 in Hudson, 69 in Saratoga, 64 at Glens Falls and Lake Pleasant at 69 degrees. Now there's the few little showers that we're tracking right now, just around Saratoga Springs up towards Wilton. Quick little downpour just west of Wilton, west of the Northway right now. Then we make our way down towards southern Saratoga County into northwestern Rensselaer County, out towards Mechanicville. These are all tracking off to the east-southeast, so very, very light in nature, and they're moving pretty quickly, so shouldn't hang around for too long. Today, guess what? That upper level low, finally getting out of here. That means a little bit nicer weather for us on Sunday, but we will run the risk for a shower as this cold front is not going to be too far away from us and could spark a afternoon or evening shower across the Capital Region. Low temperatures tonight, not as cool as the last couple of nights, only dropping back into the upper 40s and low 50s as we time out your Sunday. Much nicer, back into the low 80s, maybe an isolated shower close to 5 o'clock. We'll have much more on what to expect for the rest of the weekend and into next week coming up in just a little bit. Mikhaela?
All right, we'll wait for that. Thank you so much, Rob. It's been 79 years to the day since one of the most famous battles in history, World War II's D-Day. Coming up, we'll show you a particular team taking to the skies and commemorating this occasion. We'll be right back.